G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, you are here today because Mr. Andy Farrell, he is not happy. Not happy, Andy. And yeah, it's a performance that I think that the Irish fans probably felt a little bit disappointed. You know, against Argentina, lots of yellow cards and send-offs, and Ireland was, scraped out a 3-point win over the Argentinian side at home in Aviva Stadium. I thought, let's start with the positives. I thought the Irish played with a lot more flair than they did against the All Blacks, which is something that I talk about in the pre-match. They were probably too conservative against the All Blacks. They went all out this game, did not relent in their attacks. They went for the lining options more often than not, than going for the 3 points. And this was really they almost came out wanting to make a statement, right? They wanted to make a statement. They wanted to blow Argentina out of the water. But unfortunately to the Irish, and I think maybe to a little bit of the strategic part as well for Andy Farrell, this Argentinian team is a lot better than the Argentinian side that played Ireland a couple years ago. And this Argentinian team is a lot better than the Argentinian side played at the Rugby World Cup last year. Like, multiple folds better than they were, not just a little bit, like drastically better than what they were. So maybe, taking the Argentinians a little bit too lightly, especially with some of the strategies that the Irish wanted to deploy tonight. And it literally ends up with one of those things where you could have gone both ways. It could have gone both ways, and Argentina was on the verge of an upset, despite the Irish early dominance, despite the Irish looking like they wanted to blow this game up 50 points to nil. Every time they had a penalty, they went for the line out almost. And this was, I think there's definitely a lot of room to improvement for the Argentinian fans, for the Irish fans. It's especially if the Andy Farrell was to go back and look at some of the stats of this game. The number of silly penalties that was given out are really not acceptable for international test teams, especially when you're up against like 14 players for a lot of a big chunk of the of those opportunities that were given to you. Are really not quite good enough, not quite clinical enough if you wanted to be, considered the number one team in the world again, especially with Six Nations in the horizon, that sort of stuff, and the Lions Tour selections coming up, that sort of stuff will have to be heavily considered as Andy Farrell prepares his troops for the future battles ahead. And for the Argentinians, I thought, again, despite the relentless pressure from the Irish, and it was looking like it could have been a blowout, they had a try scrapped right from the get-go, and then not only they had a scrap from the get-go, but the same guy, what's his name, Maroney, he scored, and he had his try scrapped, and he was also sent off for the same phases of play because of a high shot on Crowley earlier in the sequence. So the Argentinians was, after that yellow card, it was looking like the Irish just gonna run away with the game. I was sitting here wondering this could be a record blowout. And to Argentinians' credit, and like I said, in the past, this team would have been a blowout. Like 2 years ago, this Argentinian side would have been blown out at 50 points. But the Argentinians, they stayed in there. They hung on. They slowly but surely clawed themselves back into the battle, and then they, got the emotions on their side and caught up from a pretty big deficit, actually. What was the big deficit point? There was one point they were down 22 points to 9 just before halftime, and they clawed that back to 22 points to 19. The Irish did not score a single point in the second half, did they? Yeah, they did not score a single point in the second half. Yeah, let that sink in for a little bit. So Andy Farrell is also, I thought, made a bit of risk as well. There's a new bloke, the number 10 reserve. He was put on 60 minutes in, a lot of time given to this young guy, Sam Prendergast, for Jack Crowley, who had been pretty decent, I thought, for the most part. And the last 20 minutes trying to get some energy into the team to get maybe some extra points, wasn't able to do so. There was a drop goal here by Jack Crowley, and it was almost like they were out of just almost like a throwaway kind of drop goal. It was almost like everything was going too well, and then Crowley was just like, all right, let's just kick this one anyway. Actually, no, that's not quite correct. They were just going like line outs. It wasn't quite delivering for them, and Crowley just like, all right, I'll just kick this one. No penalty advantage whatsoever. Just like, I'll just kick this one, and Let's just call it 3 points. And it turned out that 3 points was crucial in the ultimate result. Argentina did try one of their own drop goals as well. Thomas Albernos right in front, no pressure, rushed it a little bit and missed the drop goal. Yeah, he was disappointed by himself, but I don't think that was the reason they lost. They had plenty of opportunities later in the game to build themselves back in. Just wasn't quite able to get there. So much pressure was under, just couldn't deliver. But regardless, it was just an outstanding effort by the Argentinians to hang themselves in there. A little bit of shout out to Mr. Kian Healy, 133 test caps, equaling O'Driscoll, equaling the good old bod, Brian O'Driscoll's record. And he's probably going to have another 1 or 2 games. Who's ringing me? Stop calling me! Sorry about that. Where was I? Dropper got missed. Yeah, so that's one thing I want to look at is Finley Bealam's yellow card. This is something that I talked about last time I reviewed an Ireland game. This is actually, this is something that kind of, I kind of talk about something similar happened to Kellen Doris. It's the rolling, the landing on the leg. A lot of, especially a lot of Irish fans had a bit of argument with me last time Doris was sent off. I thought the one Doris did was way worse. He hooked the leg, and yeah, he landed on the leg, and it's a roll and to land. The roll and the land on the leg is what caused the yellow card. You could potentially argue this might be a red, but he didn't quite put his full weight on the leg. It's just a dangerous croc roll with a leg hook. That is 100% a banned technique. You're not allowed to do that. Just the croc roll itself is already a banned move. But hooking the leg like that, leaving the player with nowhere to go but kind of in a position where the joints are compromised, could potentially argue for a red card there. But strictly speaking, he has to land his full weight onto the leg for that to be a red card. He didn't quite land. He kind of like slided off the leg. Yeah, he didn't quite land directly on the leg, but it's still very dangerous. You could argue for a red card there, to be really frank with you. And then some people might say, oh, he didn't get injured. The whole point of this exercise is to make sure that people don't get injured. You don't say, hey, he didn't quite injure somebody. It should just be a yellow card. It should still, in my opinion, be a red card there. I would, if I was a bunker, I would argue that was a red card because should that be an injury, this player could be out for 6 months from that neck roll with the leg hook there. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about that one. I think that's something up for discussion, but it's good to see. In my opinion, I think it's good to see that the TMOs and everything are starting to get more aware of this issue. And also keep in mind, this is a 20-minute red card, so it's not going to be end of the game. It's just going to be it's like getting 2 yellow cards essentially. It's not really that big of a game-ending deal in this day and age. And I think that it's especially the fact that it's available, the 20-minute red card, should probably try that as well. By the way, if there was a deliberate attempt to injure another player, you could still get full red card. So you can still get sent off for the full red card if you punch somebody or if you deliberately try to injure someone. It could still be a full red card. You're out for the remainder of the game as well. The referee can do that. And a lot of you guys might be asking, oh, that's a bit too confusing. I just want to quickly touch on this. Based on my understanding, that this could completely be, based on my understanding, this could be a little bit off. Maybe special occasions. If the referee on the field issues a red card without going to the TMO, or without going to the bunker, that's a full red card. The bunker actually cannot, my understanding, cannot actually give a full red card. They can only give 20-minute red cards. So if he goes to review, it can only be 20-minute red cards. And then if the referee issues a red card right away on the field, then you're off for the remainder of the game. That's kind of like how the difference. That's kind of like the difference. That's kind of like how it works in Super Rugby. And so just watch out for that. If it's bunker review, it basically cannot be a full red card unless the bunker see like a deliberate punch or something. Then yes, it will be. Then in that case, the referee would have asked the bunker to review, and he would have given a red card on the field immediately, not after a 20-minute review of the incident. It would have been like, oh, let's have a look what happened. there's a scuffle, and then, oh, there's a punch being thrown, and the referee would have given that right away on the field. It wouldn't be a review of an incident afterwards. So yeah, that's basically the understanding of how the difference between 20-minute red card and full red card, or when it will be issued, and watch out for that. So just to make it a little bit less confusing. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. That's basically how it works in Super Rugby, and I'm pretty sure that's the same way here in the Test Rugby. But let me know if I'm wrong on that one. So yeah, moving on. So yeah, let's have a look at the match stats of the game. Ireland, much more run meters, 427 to the Argentinians, 305, 3 tries to 1, 15 turnovers conceded against Ireland to the Argentinians, 13. 202 tackles made, 31 missed tackles, 205 for Argentina, 28 tackles missed. Not too bad. Not much kicking from the Ireland team. They just wanted to run the ball. Very clear emphasis on trying to score tries on this one, trying to make a statement, and actually end up backfiring a little bit too much, I think. 1 conversion missed by Crowley, and 1 drop goal succeeded. 1 drop goal missed by Albernos. There was a number of lineouts I thought quite even. 1 lineout lost for Ireland, 1 lineout lost for Argentina. I think it was the defense that's really made the difference from these set pieces of Argentinians. They were under a lot of trouble or pressure following a lot of the lineouts, the penalty lineouts from Ireland, and then they just was able to hold on again and again despite the pressure. The penalties considered, this is where Andy Farrell would probably have a massive rant in the changing room to all of his players, right? 13 penalties considered, just really what kept Argentina in the team in the game, despite the overwhelming sort of ascendancy and momentum that the Ireland was given again and again. Only 6 penalties given away for Argentina. This used to be the other way around. Argentina used to be the team that gives away 15, 17 penalties a game on average. Now they've really improved on that discipline. Only 6 penalties given out, especially the breakdowns. I thought was an absolute mess for the Irish, especially the amount of turnovers was given out in the breakdown. Following a really good defensive dominant tackle from Argentina was exceptionally good for them as well. 2 yellow cards each for both teams. There was a high show Argentina, Moroni, Bealam, Roll. I think there was a multiple repeated knock-on for the number 4. I think it was James Ryan got sent off. It was McCarthy got sent off because of repeated penalties against Ireland, a technical one. And finally, there was another high clean-out against Cordella, the reserve prop. Just about 5 minutes left on the clock. Probably unnecessary. So discipline issues all over the place for yellow cards all over the place for both teams there as well. So yeah, let's do a quick match recap. So yeah, 2 minutes into the game, the Argentinians was under pump, and somehow there was a bit of a loose play, and Argentina was able to get counter-attack into the Ireland half. There was a knockback by Ireland. Matias Moroni ran in and go for a try. And suddenly the TMO come in and says there was an early headshot by Moroni. Try disallowed. Ireland gets an opportunity back on the other end of the field. And immediately Ireland kick for the 5-meter lineouts. They crashed the ball, and Crowley got the ball out wide, straightening up, going for the first try. 7 points. It's like a 14-point swing there for Argentina. Denied a try and then immediately conceding a try. Really, really painful. Plus a yellow card. And this was painful to watch. I honestly, 6 minutes into the game, there was a Ireland attack. That was a loose pass for Ireland, and Gary Ringrose scooped it up and straightened up and ran through a bit of a gap. And then there was a quick ball off the rocks, out of the rocks, and Ty Byrne got the ball out wide. Inside ball to Mac Hansen, try, 12 points to 0. Crowley misses one. 10 minutes into the game, there was an offside against Ireland. Argentina finally getting a bit of a reprieve, taking the 3 points back, 12 points to 3. 16 minutes into the game, there was a crock roll. Bealam gets sent off. Argentina kicked this one, 6 points to 12. 20 minutes into the game, there was a Crowley drop goal. They had a penalty that went for the line out. It didn't quite go so good for the Ireland. They ended up going backwards, and then Crowley just went, all right, let's just take 3 anyway. 15 points to 6. 31 minutes into the game, there was another line out attack from Ireland. The ball kind of like went out what is it? yeah, the ball went out the back to James Lowe. He crashed the ball, got pretty close. There was a lot of relentless crash ball, and eventually McCarthy got the ball and crashed over for the try for Ireland. 22 points to 9. Just before halftime, Argentina was pounding the Irish half. Multiple penalties, giving out warnings, and then right at the end, they were like, okay, we're gonna go for another penalty advantage. Instead of going for the line out, which was the point where Ireland infringed it quite a little bit, Argentina decided to go for the tap. I thought that was probably the wrong decision because the line out had been working for you, and you should just go for the line out. And yeah, they didn't quite get. And this was also the referee had a warning as well. You've taken that pressure off, just taking a tap, taking the threat of penalty advantage and a yellow card on the board. Even potentially a penalty try was on a play there. I thought that there was a wrong decision for Argentina to go for the line out, but yeah, eventually Ireland defended, turned the ball over. And that was halftime. Second half starts. Immediately, Argentina 5 minutes into the game. Juan Cruz Malia. There was a nice little back door ball to Albernos. And Albernos threw a little flat, short ball to Malia, who ran a nice little unders line. Went straight through the defensive line. And then, yeah, there was like probably 6 missed tackles on Malia. There was everywhere. There was Irish players. I thought that was a little bit embarrassing. There's missed tackles everywhere. Malia goes in for the try. 22 points to 16. 50 minutes into the game, another penalty to Ireland, another yellow card to Joe McCarthy for repeated penalties. It wasn't really that bad of an infringement. The Argentinians were attacking, and then eventually, I thought they rushed this a little bit. Didn't even have a penalty advantage. Should probably at least got a bit of pay. Waited for the penalty advantage. Couldn't quite get there, and Albernos went for the drop goal and missed. Yeah, at 60 minutes, there was a new guy. What's his name? The number 10 came on. The reserve came on. Sam Prendergast. There was also another guy from Ireland I thought was really Thomas Clarkson. He actually won a scrum. I don't think it was 100% his effort. The one of the scrums was penalized when it was on the field in the second half. Was when Argentina front row stood up and then it was penalized. But I thought he was pretty happy to take the credit, and for his debut, Thomas Clarkson would have been pretty. He was pretty happy, and also he looks massive. He's just massive guy. Kean Healy, yeah, he plays tight hair prop Thomas Clarkson, but yeah, he's just massive guy. Yeah, good to see that big boy gets a bit of credit for something that probably wasn't his effort to begin with. But hey, we'll take that. Finally, the last bit of action, 75 minutes. Cordella got sent off for Franco Gomez. Cordella got sent off for a high shot clean now, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, last ditch of an effort. The clock went red. Argentina throwing everything at it. They actually advanced quite a bit. They went from 50-meter mark all the way into the Ireland 22. And then yeah, it was a knock-on breakdown. Lost 22 points to 19. Really good performance by Argentina. Consistency is the big keyword here for Argentinians and Ireland. Yeah, Andy Farrell will be screaming, I think, in the post-match reviews, and I think some of the players would probably feel like they've lost the game after that one. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later for more reviews. Cheers.